We want you just to state a favorite poem of this week, Beat Week, whether it's in the main syllabus or ModPo Plus. Just tell us a favorite poem of the moment and very briefly why, and then we'll collect that, and then we'll go from there. Because, Lainey Brown, we don't prepare in the traditional sense of we've got an agenda. The agenda is interanimation. The agenda is...
Interanimation, that's a new word, I like that.
Interanimation, a colloquy, and finding out what people... And improvisation, especially in Beat Week. Okay. All right, so Kamara's first and Jake's on deck. Favorite poem, please.
I say She Got, He Got by Jane Cortez.
Jane Cortez.
A classic. I've been thinking about the past tense in the poem a lot, or the past participle of the got, and it's really got me twisted. So,
yeah. I don't even know if Jane Cortez is speaking in the past tense there. It could be present tense. Right? I mean, got is a seriously mobile word. I think Jake's on deck.
I'd say Blues for Alice.
Coolidge.
Yeah, it's on ModPo Plus, and talked about it yesterday in my office hour, and I love that poem. It's so intense and strange, and it and beautiful and beat informed, but also totally. Another era. It's a cool poem.
Do we have Alice being Alice Coltrane, I believe, right? Do we have a recording of Clark Coolidge performing that poem? I believe we do. Right? Yeah. And it's very amazing. What a voice. Okay, very cool. I forgot to put someone on deck, so let's just go to Lainey with Gabby on deck.
I'm going to go with Revolutionary Letters, because I'm just amazed at how relevant they are right now. So, Diane DePrima, Revolutionary Letters.
Do you have the text of Revolutionary Letters handy?
I do.
Would you just read a couple of sentences, lines that really you find amazing?
How much can we afford to lose before we win? Can we cut hair or give up drugs? Take job, join Minutemen, marry, wear their clothes, play bingo, what?
Love that. Thank you. Okay, Gabby's up next, and Gabby's up now, and Dave is on deck.
I feel like my choice this week is an artifact of having done it for many years, and it's I Know a Man by Robert Creeley, and it's in large part because I can't look at that poem without hearing his exact intonations from that audio clip.
I've got a mic and you've got a mic, Gabby.
Oh God, are we going to attempt to do this?
Two of us together. Are you ready?
Okay.
As
I said to my friend, because I am always talking, John, I said, which was not his name, the darkness surrounds us. What can we do against it? Or else shall we? And why not buy a goddamn big car? Drive, he said, for Christ's sake, look out where you're going.
And can we say car the way Bob said car? Car.
You can.
Yeah, I mean, he's from eastern Massachusetts, but he sounds like he's from Rochester.
Right.
Car. Or Chicago, for that matter. Okay. That was good. All right, so why did you I guess you said it's just in your head.
I feel like I can't open that file preparing for this week and not hear always talking. Like I can't read it any other way. And so there's something infectious.
You're the best, Gabby. That's great. You have such a good spirit about this. Dave's up, and Vijaya will be on deck. Dave.
One of the coolest things for me about this week is in ModPo Plus, and it's just a selection, actually the introduction by a poet named Jake Murmur or something. Marmer. Jake Marmer.
Mutterer.
And it's this prefatory statement before a selection of his experimental transcriptions, and it describes this amazing scene sitting in a bar in the Village in New York City where listening to jazz, you could still overhear someone holler something incomprehensible outside, but the improvising jazz musicians just went with it. They actually mimicked something that sounded like the incomprehensible holler outside and incorporated it into the music. And it just, the way he describes it, it's amazing, and it's so vivid.
Love
and
that.
It really, and it really hits home, especially with what Kerouac especially was trying to do,
Yeah.
and things Old Angel
Yeah,
did
I
that-
mean, thank you, Dave. Jake Marmer has such a deep relationship with the idea of improvisation, and I would almost call it inclusion of the ambience around. So that's a really great moment. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to go to Vijaya, and on deck will be Erica. Vijaya, you have a mic. Will you bring it up
Yeah.
to you? So
Yeah.
What's your favorite poem this week?
I enjoyed Ginsberg. I enjoyed Kerouac. In fact, I was listening to, after Ali's office hour, she told me about October Night.
October in the
October in
Railroad
the
Earth.
railroad, yeah,
Yeah.
right. And it was beautiful. I
Yeah.
loved it. But my favorite is still Jail Poems, Bob Kaufman.
Kaufman Jail Poems. Erica with Dexter on deck.
I love Anne Waldman's Rogue State with Bob Kaufman's Jail Poems as a close second.
Okay, why Rogue State?
It feels like it's a timeless poem. Like, no matter what political moment we're in, I somehow find hope in that poem.
Hope.
Hope,
Wow.
even though it's not a hopeful piece.
No.
I think that it sets a precedent for what it looks like to make art that could do something.
Erica, does that hope, which is reading kind of against the grain of the semantic meaning of that poem, does that hope derive at all from the way Anne performs, the way she sings, the tone of her voice, the pitch? And if so, why would that be? How could that be? How could you achieve hope when the politics is screwed?
I feel like the performance of the poem and the way that that she is constantly updating and changing the content.
Yeah.
The performance is so completely intense and all-encompassing
Yeah.
that it kind of makes me remember that poetry can actually do something.
That's beautiful. Love that. All right, thank you. Let's go to Dexter, and Kate will be on deck.
The poem I would actually pick is that I read this week is Incident. And
Incident.
it's
Baraka.
just so strong and so relevant to today and so moving. And I also love the exposition in the book. I've forgotten who it was that did the close reading in your book, but
Who did
it
the
was
close
really
reading
good.
of Incident? Oh gosh, maybe Alden Nielsen might be Alden Nielsen. I think that sounds right. Great suggestion, Dexter. We're going to go to Kate, and then to Jordan.
Well, I'm a huge Creeley fan, and I love She Got, He Got every year. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to call out Jack Kerouac's Essentials of Spontaneous Prose, because I think it's hilarious that he wrote some of these very prescriptive lists of ways to be spontaneous.
So it's a giant paradox that probably Jack did not perceive, right? Because he was so top down in his, this is the way you ought to do stuff. But he also wanted to be free. So this is a problem that Jack encountered that he probably didn't live long enough to solve. Let's go to Jordan, followed by Matt.
I'm going to second I Know a Man also because it is perpetually stuck in my head. And I try to make jokes about it and my friends don't know
Why
what I'm
is it
talking
stuck
about.
in your head? 'Cause
the same thing. The
Gabby and I will
cadence,
do it
the
again
way
for you.
I would sit here and listen to that all night.
What can we do against it? Or else shall we? And why not buy a goddamn big car? I'm making him sound like a cartoon character. But, oh, that would be a great cartoon. I Know a Man. No, I guess not. All right, and let's go to Matt. Hello, Matt Corey.
Hello. No one's mentioned Howl, so I'll go with Howl
Oh,
and
Howl.
just say
Okay,
that
good choice. All right.
it's iconic, of course, and
Yes.
the essential beat poem. But I think that I think that Ginsberg wrote it not just for the time he was living in, but about the America that we've always been and always will be. So it could
well
be read
said.
200 years from now and still
Beautifully
be
said.
worthwhile.
Wow. We should go on the road all the time. We should. Because people are so conversant in the poems, in the syllabus, and I don't know, it feels so natural.